Hey y'all, Achieved here. This is my achievement guide for the Lichdragon Fortissax in Elden Ring. Let's get it. To even start getting towards fighting the boss, you need to beat 2 of the 4 major bosses that are in the first half of the game. Those are going to be Godric the Grafted, Renala Queen of the Full Moon, Star Scourge Rodan, and Rykard Lord of Blasphemy. You also need to activate the Grand Lift of Dectus, which is found in the northeastern section of Liurnia of the Lakes. It connects Liurnia to the Altus Plateau. To do so, you need to find the left and right halves of the Dectus Medallion, which can be found at the top of Fort Height in eastern Limgrave, and at the top of Fort Faroth in central Caelid. With all of those prerequisites out of the way, you're going to talk to Fia at the Round Table Hole. She will ask you to embrace, and there will be a talk in secret option. Go ahead and choose that, and then she will hand you a special dagger once you exhaust her dialogue. You are going to give that dagger to D, Hunter of the Dead, who is sitting in front of the table, and then you need to reload the area. When you reload the area, go into the door that is past Master Hugh and Roderica, the one that was previously closed. You will find Fia standing over D's body. You can loot D, and then Fia will say that she has to go somewhere and do something, and we're going to pretty much follow her where she needs to go. You are going to check out the Valiant Gargoyles that is on one end of Nokron, the Eternal City. And then you're going to get in the coffin that is under the waterfall, and it's going to take you to the Deeproot Depths. Deeproot is pretty straightforward. All you need to do at this point is make it across the area that you're in now. There's going to be a bunch of ant enemies. There's going to be a couple side paths, but the path straight is the only place you need to go. You will come to a town that has a big route coming out of the center of the town going upwards to an upper platform. Go ahead and climb that and grab the Set of Grace up there, just to be safe. Ahead of you now is going to be a very large boss arena. It kind of looks like a swamp, but not really a swamp. This is going to be the Fia's Champion boss fight. The first 2 waves, it's a multi-stage fight, so the first 2 waves are going to be a single random invader, and then the final wave is going to be 2 random invaders and Lionel the Lionhearted every time. The random invaders can be katana users, greatsword users, magic users. It's really all dependent on who you get summoned. So each fight can be a little bit different, but the last fight always has Lionel the Lionhearted, and he's pretty simple to understand how he works. Lionel is the type of enemy that's always going to be coming towards you, so you need to keep your distance. He has a rapier, I believe, and he can use a spell where he summons a bunch of skulls that follow you, and they do dissipate after time, but I think he sends like 5 or 6 of them, so just make sure you keep enough stamina ready when he uses that attack to get clear of him. Once you take out all of Fia's champions and Lionel the Lionhearted, you're going to have a Set of Grace come up, rest at it, and then sitting on a log in front of you is going to be Fia, and you need to start talking to her now. The first time you talk to Fia, she's going to ask you a question, and you need to ensure that you choose the option that says, "No, I want to be held." That is the only way to fight the Lich Dragon. She is going to ask you to find the Curse Mark of Death, which you find through Rani's questline, so if you haven't gone through that, you need to go through that as well. After you hand over the Curse Mark of Death, you're going to reload the area, talk to Fia again. She'll be sleeping, and you can enter her dreams to fight the dragon. The Lich Dragon looks more intimidating than it actually is. I found this boss fight to be pretty easy, actually. This is only the 2nd time I had attempted it. Summon your ashes right away, pick up whatever souls you dropped if you died, and we'll get into the fight. The Lich Dragon fights like most other dragons, except it has a couple things that it can do extra. As you've seen right away, it can summon lightning down on some predetermined locations. I think the ground is electric where it can do that. And it can also do that move you just saw where it stands up tall with its lightning bolt and it slams it into the ground, and the lightning travels out in a cross pattern, like north, south, east, west. It only goes in those directions. It doesn't go diagonal, so if you're not within those directions, you should be just fine. I believe, like most other bosses, if you do enough damage in a certain amount of time, you can stun the Lich Dragon, which means you can get a critical hit in. Very useful, gets a lot of damage in at one time. So lay on the damage if you can with your ashes nearby, distracting the enemy, and then get that critical hit in. That should be all for the Lich Dragon. Just make sure you watch out for its really wide attacks and his attacks that spread out in multiple directions, and you should be good. I actually just finished a fight right here, so I will catch you guys next time. Adios.